So, excited for the big game today? Robert asks, as he sits down on the hall bench next to his moping daughter. We're gonna get our asses kicked, Simone mutters, as she taps the end of her bat into the solid floor. Hey, language. Jeez, hon, you're gonna scare away your future lady with a mouth like that, Robert informs, as he ruffles Simone's already wild hair with his massive hand. Whatever. My team already thinks I'm mean, they just keep me around because I can actually hit the stupid ball, she grumbles. Well, why do they think you're mean? Her dad asks. Simone shrugs and rotates the handle of the bat in circles. I don't know. They're just mad because I'm better at baseball, I guess. I mean, I try to show them how to do it right, but they don't care what I say, so I yell sometimes, she explains, unsure of how to describe her feelings. You feel unheard? Like you want to help your team improve, but they are resistant to accept what you have to say? Robert clarifies warmly. I guess, yeah, Simone agrees, biting her cheek. Why do you think they are resisting your help so much? Because I'm mean, Simone says, as her face scrunches up and eyes dampen. A big hand rests on her back, massaging back and forth, allowing the girl to cry her eyes out and snot her nose out. After the worst passes, the hand pats gently, and the other lifts up a clean workout towel. Embarrassed, the girl wipes her face and blows her nose. Kiddo, if you really are so mean and terrible, you wouldn't be so sad about it right now. But I am. I yell, call them stupid, Simone argues, still hiding her face in the towel. Well, there's your problem, kiddo. You can't expect them to be receptive to your input if you get angry. But it's so frustrating, Dad. I hear you, hon. It can be hard to teach. I would know, it's my dang job. Want to know how I get around getting frustrated with stubborn people? Simone sniffs and shrugs. First, I talk to them before instructing them. Maybe what works perfectly well for me won't work for them at all. I can't expect everyone to be just like me or know what I know naturally, right? Then we work together to find what does work for them and build from there, Robert explains, as he takes the towel, folds it, and dabs Simone's still messy face. People are complicated and different. Now that's not a problem. In fact, it's what makes us all stronger. I'm sure you're hopelessly terrible at a lot of things that any of your teammates flourish in. All you gotta do is be patient and work with your team. Talk it out like we always do. And remember to listen. Listen and be considerate. And don't be afraid to let others in from time to time. It may be slow going at first, but everyone will be better for it. I promise you that. Am I making sense? Simone shifts on her seat. Yeah, she admits. Robert brings his kid into a big bear hug. Simone sinks into her dad, feeling her eyes water again. You're an amazing person, Simone. You have such a good heart too. That temper isn't all bad either. It's energy that you can channel into passion. Patience is the key. Your team needs you. Use your strengths to uplift them, and let theirs uplift you. Thanks, Dad, Simone utters in a small voice. You bet. Robert gives Simone a bearded kiss on her temple and a final encouraging squeeze. Alright, kiddo. My break is almost over, and you've got a game to practice for, so get off your butt and go kick some ass. The massive man stands up, winks, and reaches down for a helping hand. Simone smiles and reaches up. The Terran's hand clenches on the cold ground. Pain like a bad hangover rocks her head as she stirs fully awake. The air is freezing, and her electrically heated coat is no longer operational. She opens her eyes to see only more pitch darkness. For a moment in the disorientation, she forgets where she is. Chuck! Her head screams. Too cold to care about her fucked up shoulder, Simone rolls onto her hands and knees, feeling around in the black. Chuck! She calls out in her response. How long has it been? Did they come and take her already? Is her coat still working? Fucking stars, where is she? She panics, swinging her hands wildly, searching the ground, until she finally feels something soft. Sitting back, she grabs and drags the thing on top of her lap. Feeling the familiar coat, she confirms she found the Cali, but her heart sinks when she feels no electric heat coming from her coat either. Then Simone's heart stops when she puts an ungloved hand to Chuck's concerningly cold skin. Fuck, shit, no. Old survival training taking over, Simone began stripping herself down to underclothes, and blindly does the same to the Cali. It's a little tricky being simultaneously fast and gentle while removing the alien's garments in the absolute dark. Yet she gets the job done. Laying the shirt and pants down as protection for the heat-sapping floor, Simone lays herself down and pulls in the Kelly back to her chest, then quickly covers them both head to toe in the coats as makeshift blankets. Simone wraps her own body around Chak, making as much skin contact as possible. The Terran's comparatively hot skin envelops the chilled, still body of the Callie. Using her arms and legs, Simone carefully but consistently rubs to create much-needed friction. Come on, come on, come on, Simone curses. A half hour of this comes around before Simone pauses in a gasp. Pressing her entire hand on the Callie's chest, she waits. A heartbeat! A fucking heartbeat! That's right, bitch. Come back, Simone encourages as she resumes her heating. Another 20 minutes fly by before the Callie's eyes finally open. Her head's horrible pain is only superseded by the burning the rest of her body is enduring. She tries to move away, but her strength is easily overcome by a wrapping arm. Hey, it's okay. It's me. Just stay still, a familiar voice says right behind her. It burns. It's burning, is all Chak can utter in a dazed, panicked state. I know, I'm sorry. It feels that way because your body temperature is way lower than it should be. I'm lending you mine right now, okay? Just bear with it. And it will get better, I promise, I swear. Trust me, okay? Please. Trust me, Simone explains, fighting through tears of relieved joy. Chak winces from the sensory pain the entirety of her body is enduring. Simone? She whispers. Yeah, it's me. I got you. I swear, I got you. Her aching mind finally allows the conscious connections to be clear. Simone was here. It's going to be okay. Simone is the burning. Okay. Hours pass, and just as Simone promised, the burning goes away and is replaced with precious heat. Chak's head still pounds, but her thoughts are clear. What happened? She asks softly. What do you remember? Simone counters. The Callie feels a mix of great joy and sadness fill her hearts. Brom is alive, she says. Yeah, then tried to kill you, Simone points out. He is hurting. Being stuck in a place like this alone for that long? He needs help, but he might be right. Don't say that, Simone cuts in. What if my father exploited something I did? What if this is all my... Stop. Just stop. Whatever your father did, that's all on him, not you. Understood? Simone insists. But, okay. The Callie concedes for now. You saved me again. Thank you. It was a close call. If I didn't wake up when I did, you were just lucky this time, Simone confesses. Oh, of course I'm lucky. I found you, Chak musters a chuckle. If you say so, Bo Peep. I do. Thanks. So, I know you have a Deathworlder literally breathing down your neck, but we need to stay like this until we figure something out, Simone says, peeking out into the pitch darkness. I can think of worse positions to be in, Chak sheepishly admits. Well, believe it or not, I'm fucking freezing right now. My lens is fried, so I have no idea how long we were out for. Long enough for any trapped heat in this place to dissipate, but not long enough for me to freeze over. We can hold out like this until Chucknuck sends us another shuttle, hopefully not too much longer, or we suit up and hope to the stars that whatever EMP bullshit that was didn't affect our first shuttle. What if we find more material in here to bundle up in, or maybe even get the heating back on? Chak suggests. They would have bunks with bedding, right? But I have a feeling Brom anticipated that. And besides, I can't see a damn thing. Oh, I can. Not very well, but I can tell shapes apart. Would it be worth risking losing the body heat? Could find nothing. We could also freeze here waiting for a shuttle that will show up who knows when. The two mull over their options for a while. Well, we'll definitely die from indecision if we don't commit. What's your thoughts? Simone asks. Oh, as much as I hate the idea of leaving your guaranteed heat, I do believe it's worth looking around. Maybe we'll find something. Yeah, okay. Start getting dressed first. Pants are under you. Chak begins to twist and shift. Alright, yes, here they are. I'm good. Chak squeaks, as though in pain. What's wrong? Floor's cold. Chak chirps angrily. Air releases from Simone's mouth and breaks into genuine laughter. Sounds of inward gasps and snorting take the Terran over. It takes a moment of concern, but the Callie recognises this as an interesting form of Terran laughter. She can see Simone cover her mouth, trying to stifle it. Well, it is, Chuck reinforces, as she puts on her pants and undershirt. I know, I'm sorry, you just sounded so fucking mad, Simone says, almost breaking back into the laughter, but catches it. Glad you can laugh so freely in a time like this, Chuck grumbles. Sorry, didn't mean to. Just happened, Simone assures. I'll reserve my ugly laugh, I promise. Your laugh isn't ugly. It is funny, though. As annoyed as I am, I like it. Kinda sounds like a gotho. I'm totally looking up what that is when we get out of here, but I hope it doesn't look like a pig. They're cute, in their own way. Yeah, same with pigs. Then, regardless, that makes you cute. Pfft. Like in my own way, right? Simone, for Clat's sins, accept the compliment, Chuck whispers harshly, before fitting on her coat. Okay, I'm dressed. Your turn. Yes, ma'am. Ugh. Floor's cold. Shut it, Simone warns. It's Chuck's turn to chuckle as she rubs her arms. Simone quickly throws her clothes on and fits in her boots. Standing at attention, she looks around, miraculously still seeing absolutely nothing. Alright, so, you're gonna have to... The Terran mumbles. Reaching out, Chuck takes hold of Simone's regloved hand. Of course, I'll do my best. Remember that it's still hard for me to make things out, Chuck clarifies. Hey, it's better than me stumbling around like an idiot. True, but it does sound funny to watch. Ha ha. We going? Oh, of course. Just follow where I lead. That's usually how it works, yes. Simone! Sorry. I'll try not to trip over you. That would be very much appreciated. Slowly, Chuck leads Simone through the doorway back into the hall. Do you see anything useful in the labs, like something that can produce flame? Simone asks. Chuck lets go of the Terran's hand. I'm not going far. Just going to check for all the windows, she notifies. Gotcha. One by one, Chuck peeks in and gives it a good look over before returning to the locked-in place Simone. It's hard to tell. It's mostly machinery that requires power, I think, so I'm doubtful of there being anything useful, she reports. Damn, alright. Onward? Simone lifts up a hand. Taking it, Chuck makes their way to the lounge where the front door is. Wait, the seats and couches. Maybe we can use the stuffing for insulation, Simone proposes. Idea is good, but I believe these are gel-filled furniture. It might work? Chuck says uncertainly. If it's anything like an aerogel, we might be in business. But let's keep that in our back pocket for now. Chuck looks back and forth. There's doors to our left and right. I believe they head straight back into the labs. And there's a single door down on the other side of the lounge. I say let's start treading on new ground. Right, this way. Mind any stray furniture pieces, to the best of your ability. Taking slow, methodical steps, Simone indeed does her best to not trip over several chunks of gel and scrap plastics. I can see your eyes, you know. It's like that old cartoon cliché of floating eyes on a dark screen, Simone says. I don't know what that is, but I'd love for you to show me sometime, Chuck responds, shaking off a shiver. You don't know cartoons? Simone asks, surprised. Oh, of course. During my studies of Terran culture, there was a whole sectional sub-history on their reality mimicry for entertainment. There was too much to even know where to start, so I've seen very little. I believe the one I did see was of a horribly deformed whistling Terran mutant on an ancient watercraft. Careful, even out here they might try and throw a lawsuit at you. What? Terran joke. It's fine, those fucks went under a few centuries back. Crazy attempted a governmental coup, that was though. I'm so confused. And you're acting differently, more... Please don't take this the wrong way. Personable? Just a defense mechanism, Bo Peep. Keeping the mood up while I can't see. Not a fan. Chuck's hand squeezes Simone. Are you scared? She asks softly. I'm just on edge. Tends to happen in situations like this, but don't worry, nothing I can't handle. I'll get you out of here, Simone assures. Oh, it's okay. You've done more than enough. Right now it's my turn to get you through this, Chuck comforts. Simone bites her cheek, unsure of how to feel about that. Chuck opens the fresh door, grunting a bit, as the door lacks power. Need help with that? Simone perks up. No, thank you, already done. Ah, good work, Simone awkwardly says. This facility was built with a Callie in mind, Simone. I got this, Chuck reassures. as she peeks into the new hallway. One door on the left and one on the right. There's also a door at the end of the hall. There are signs, I think, but I can't make out the text. Well, we know one should be the bunkhouse, right? Simone reasons. Yes, I'm going to check through the doors. I'll be right back. Tshirt tries to pull away, but Simone keeps a hold on the Callie's hand. Simone? The Terran clears her throat. I just brought you back from the brink, okay? I can't, Just don't be a dumbass and please be careful. We don't know if your crazy brother has left any more surprises. I can't do my job effectively right now, alright? Tshirt can't see the specifics on the Terran's face, but the body language is certainly softer than normal. Of course. I won't go into any of the rooms unless you're with me. We're just taking a look inside so we know what to expect, Tshirt promises. Simone nods in the dark and releases Tshi't's hand. The Callie moves quickly to the door on the left. She cracks open the door and immediately recognizes the room's purpose. Left door, washroom and lavatory, she announces, before skipping to the right door. Peeking in an identical manner, the Callie's heart drops somewhat. Kitchen and bunks on the right, but you were right, all the bedding and mattresses are gone. Damn, and the kitchen? All automated, it requires power. Course it does. The Callie finally dashes to the remaining door, and as she opens it, plumes of noxious ozone clouds out. She gags and jumps away from the toxic air. Ah! It smells like a melted horn trimmer in there, Tshirt spits, as she quickly returns to Simone, feeling the cold bite in her flesh return with a vengeance. Do you think we can get the power working again? Tshirt inquires. Very doubtful, unless you happen to have some studied electrical engineering, Simone says, already knowing the answer. I haven't, but we can still try, right? Tshirt asks, with a little fear slipping in. Biting her cheek, Simone sighs and thinks. What she would kill for a basic Terran lighter right now. Unless... Simone draws out her plasma colt, checking to find it too has lost the power required to operate. However, that's not what her headgears are turning on. I think I have an idea, the Terran says, with confidence growing. You do? Tshirt chirps, hope returning. Give me your pulse rifle, Simone demands, holding out a hand. Confused, Tshirt complies. Simone then puts away her Colt under her armpit and ejects the pulse rifle's battery cartridge core. Batteries tend to survive EMPs a whole lot better. That was a nasty one, but if this is still good, we just might have our power supply. Tshi't's floating, glowing eyes expand. Oh, good idea. But what else can we power with it? Simone smirks with no one to see, grabbing her Colt from under her arm. The most badass candle you've ever seen. But you can seriously hurt yourself. And we can fill this whole place with toxic gas, it could explode. Tshirt protests, as Simone sits next to the dragged-in communication room's door. The Terran uses muscle memory and freezing bare hands to partially disassemble her plasma Colt in the pitch darkness. If that becomes a problem, we can vent with the front door, but I'm just looking to buy us time. I know it's not a great idea, but it's the best I've got, Simone explains, as she fills the gas canister in the injector. Simone then grabs the battery from Tshi't's pulse rifle and scrap wiring from the labs. What about hurting yourself? Tshi't presses. I'm so cold I doubt I'll feel it. Simone brushes off, as she tests the battery's life by tapping the wire. A brief zapping arc of electricity confirms life. We're in business, Simone cheers. She staggers up to her feet and lifts the busted door over the lounge's corner. Careful to not let it slide, she props it up at an angle and kicks what feels like a chair over as a brace. Now, help me move the couches. We're going to stack them on the sides as insulating walls, the Terran requests. Together with Simone's strength and Tshi't's guiding vision, they easily manage to compile a fort that any kindergartner worth their salt would marvel at. Now, let's get inside and hope this doesn't explode on us, Simone says, as she picks up her mangled Colt and battery. That's reassuring, Tshi't grumbles, as she crawls under the door. Simone feels her way in, clutching her hopefully not explosive device to the chest. After nestling in up to Tshi't, she reaches out and pulls in the couches to seal them in. Okay, here goes nothing, Simone mutters, as she configures the gas injector and electric arc. Eyeing the disaster about to happen, Tshi't pulls ahead as far away as it can go. Simone manually releases a gentle flow of gas into the burning arc, and flames burst to life. Cursing up a storm, Simone fiddles with the injector until the flames shrink and become manageable. The fort's interior is illuminated, allowing the two occupants to finally clearly see each other for who knows how many hours. Hi, An exhausted-looking Terran says through a smile. Hi. A sickly but relieved Callie responds softly in amazement. You did it, she adds. Yeah, burned my hand real good, but it worked, Simone agrees, taking in the heat already emanating from the green flame. I should stop doubting you altogether at this point. Chuck chuckles to the comforting light and warmth. No, this was incredibly stupid. I'm still not convinced this won't explode in our faces. Hell, I may have tried something even crazier without you reeling me in. Still, you're amazing, Chuck mumbles, as she sets her head on Simone's shoulder. Just doing my job, the Terran dismisses half-heartedly. Is that all this is to you? A job? Chuck whispers, allowing the flames to dominate her vision. Well, it's what you'll pay me for, right? I suppose, but I believe we're friends now, right? Good friends, even. Simone takes a moment to respond to that. It's never a good idea to mix business with pleasure. Oh. The Callie's eyes dim slightly. But since when have I ever had an actually good idea? Yeah, we're friends. Chuck's eyes narrow, but they spark a twinkling red. I dare not argue. So, what are we going to do about your brother? Simone asks, now that Death has been defeated for a while longer. I want to find him and help him, to convince him that we can truly work together for our people. Is that foolish? Absolutely. He just tried to kill you and didn't seem the least bit torn up about it, Simone answers honestly. He's delusional. He's scared, and he doesn't know who to trust. If I can get to him, have him look me in the eyes, I can convince him, Chuck says assuredly. You sound dead set on that, Simone sighs, but a small smile breaks through. I am. If I'm to think of this pragmatically, he would be of invaluable help in taking down my father. Otherwise, he's my brother, Simone. I know him. Alright, but keep this in mind. Hope for the best, expect the worst. Your brother might not be the same person you remember, the Terran cautions, doing her best impersonation of her dad. I understand, Chad forces herself to say. It's not a lie, just hard to admit. What's your father's deal anyway? Why do all this? Simone caves to her nagging curiosity. Before father's coup, the Calli were predominantly led by matriarchs, the queen being the highest position. The kings are more of a prestigious role. He has power, but little more than any other councillor. Father wanted more. I'm sure he has other reasons than simple greed, but that's all I know. Doesn't explain why he killed all his fucking kids, Simone sneers at the senselessness of it all. To leave him as the final member of the royal family. All of his children have more claim to the throne than he does, even his sons, because they carry the queen's lineage. And he just got away with it? Of course not, I'm still alive. My brother is still alive, he hasn't won yet. He may have the backing of our military, but he's just as fragile as anyone else. Chuck's tone has never worn so much venom. Then I guess you better step up your weapon training, Simone says, as she reaches an arm around in a gentle, reassuring side hug. As long as you're alive, he loses. Thank you for staying. I know I thank you a lot, but above everything else, that's what I'm most grateful for, Chuck says, as she rubs her face more into the Terran. You bet. Losing track of the passing of time, Simone and Chuck rest together in the growing heat within their mighty fort. Keeping one another company, they speak little more on their troubles and decompress after the harrowing time in this cursed facility. Eventually, among the sounds of creaking and whistling, the roaring of shuttle engines come bearing down like an angel's song.